What is up, Steeler fans? Welcome back to another show. Welcome back to another episode of The Huddle. Today we have a special guest. We have the one and only, my down under friend and homie, Mark Davison from Steelers Nation Australia. He's also on the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate and does the Touchdown Under show on Behind the Steel Curtain. Please hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of our content or live shows. With that being said, guys, I'm Daniel J. This is State of the Steelers, and welcome to The Huddle. What is up, Mark? How you doing today?
Hey, mate. Hey, I didn't realize I was so busy.
You're out there, man. You make my intros a little bit long sometimes. Just kidding.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate, Steelers Nation Australia, and I have a podcast with Behind the Steel Curtain Touchdown Under with Matty Peverill. I did not realize that I was all over the shop. Maybe that's why I got the grey hair going on.
There it is, man.
That's maybe I need to calm down a little bit.
Nah, I think everybody's loving your insight, your down under insight and retrospect on things. So we're going to be talking the defense today.
Big time. Let's go.
What do you think about Genard Avery being cut? You know, I thought he was a lock there.
Yeah, I thought that was a shock, to be honest. I thought he had a chance to make the 53. I thought he played really well in the Jacksonville game. I think he was held 2 or 3 times or something similar. He was getting to the quarterback. He's not TJ Watt. He's not Alex Highsmith, but he has the credentials he used to play with, is a pretty physical player with the Eagles. Now, there has to be something has to be going on to cut a guy like that, and you're not cutting the other guys. If I look to the Owl roster, James Vorders, no idea who that guy is. Hamikal Rashid Jr., okay, he played, I think, like a few good snaps, but who are these guys? Rondell Carter, no idea who that guy is. And you cut a guy with Genard Avery who has some, I guess, pedigree and potential and has played well at that position and can sometimes even play, could play defensive end sometimes because he's that big, in my opinion. But kind of a weird cut, I think. But at the same time, what do I know? Because you think of all these things and then they go and do this. Like they cut the kicker, they cut Chris Oladokun, and I'm like, well, that's, I thought he was going to make the practice squad, right? And here we are. And then Genard Avery, I thought he was a good signing. And is there injuries? I don't know. There's something. There has to be a reason why they've cut him. Maybe the Steelers are going into a different defensive setup because I know DeMarvin Leal made a pretty promising impact on the game too. So can he be out there as well? I don't know. Honestly.
Right. Well, Marvin Leal plays interior defensive line, in my opinion. I mean, I know he might play the end or quote unquote end, but that's more like the Cam Hayward version of the end. Genard Avery, in my opinion, was supposed to be an outside linebacker. Do you think that Derek Tuska is a better outside linebacker than Genard Avery based on what you've seen?
They're pretty similar, but I think we've seen I kind of think we've seen enough of Tuska as well. I just don't think he's anything special. I just thought, like I don't overly know because I thought Avery was I really thought he was going to make the roster at the 53. You know what I mean? And like I said, you keep all the other guys that are just guys that are names, and the guys played in the league a long time with the Browns he played for, and he played for the Eagles too. But Derek, I can never pronounce his name. Derek, I was like, yeah, I guess he's going to be behind TJ or like the third guy, but he's nothing exciting, right? Nothing totally exciting behind the offensive line, outside linebacker. So we kind of need another guy there, I think. But depending what they want to do on defense, I don't overly know. Like it just you think you're going to go one way with certain things and ideas, and then at the moment now we have the Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, and now it's like Devin Bush. Is he going to be middle linebacker, Mark Robinson? It's like it's day to day. It's honestly day to day. You don't know.
No, I agree. I mean, the first thing I started thinking when I saw Genard Avery cut was, wow, maybe the Steelers are going to pick up somebody, make some splash. There's been a little bit of rumbling going on that they might be doing something, whether it's, picking up an outside linebacker or trading for, I think there's a tackle out there in New England who's wanting to get traded that used to be a first-round pick. That's a little bit of a tweener as well. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's like 6'3". And, that guy might be somebody the Steelers could use in the inside. He's a little disgruntled about his pay, so the Steelers were to get him, they'd have to pay him. One of those types of things. But the fact that they cut Genard Avery, I mean, TJ Watt takes a lot of time off. Currently, Alex Highsmith is nursing a rib injury. That third outside linebacker position is going to take a lot of reps. And I'm not really comfortable with the depth that we have behind those two guys. Like I said, I was super surprised in because I thought Genard Avery, one thing that I wrote down on my notes when I was watching the game was this guy's get off and go was quick. He played fairly well. Another player that's been in the news or in the media on the defensive side is Devin Bush. How are you feeling about him so far in his first 2 preseason performances and what he said in the media that's been reported or everybody's heard?
What happens when I do this? What do you reckon? Hang on. What if I do this? How far away am I from the mic?
Pretty far.
Pretend that's a player. Come on, man. He's there, but he's not there.
Yeah.
Let's be real. I want to see someone with fire. I want to see someone like Lawrence Timmons in there, man. I'm sick of it. Like, I just don't think he wants to be a Steeler, nor does he want to play football at the middle linebacker position. Myles Jack does. He wants to play football. Devin Bush, every time I see him tackle, he tackles with his arms and he jumps away from the tackle. He's not getting involved in the tackle. He didn't do what Mark Robinson did. Not saying that Mark Robinson's going to start, but he went out and laid him out. Devin Bush, to me, I think they're probably going to keep him next to Bush and see how it goes, but it might be a mistake at the end of 2022, 2023. It might be a mistake because I want to see someone else. I want to see someone else in there.
I agree.
I've seen enough. I've seen enough with him, man.
One good thing that I like about Mark Robinson, and I'm sure that the Pittsburgh Steelers probably see a lot in him or like about him as well, is he was involved in the strip sack. He was the person that sacked Locke and to give Kenny Pickett the drive, and he was also on the pressure on this pass game on the Jacksonville quarterback that caused him to do his best Neil O'Donnell impression and throw straight to Justin Lane, and and have him going down down for another game-winning drive, so to speak, with Mason Rudolph. And so he was involved in both of those drives or led up to both of those drives.
Two thoughts for that one there. Can I just say, Justin Lane didn't know where to go. He hesitated and didn't go straight. He went left to right and trying to find an alley. Just go straight, catch the ball, go straight for the first 10, 15 yards, and you'll probably figure itself out, right? He kind of messed that up. I think he went back inside when he could have went outside to even get the same amount of yardage and fall over. Now, another play I saw where Devin Bush, I thought, played pretty well. At the same time, you're a top 10 pick. You should be making these plays all the time. He rushed the quarterback in one certain play, and DeMonte Carsey came out of nowhere and made the tackle, which was fantastic. Rushed the quarterback. He threw the football to the running back, and Carsey knew the play was happening from his safety position and shut the play down. And Carsey has to make this roster, in my opinion. I want to put that out there. He needs to make the roster. Devin Bush played well in that one play. However, in all the other plays, he got 4 tackles. He's always off ball. He's off the ball. He over pursues. He doesn't look like he's communicating with the Jack and those guys. I don't know if does he play versus the Bengals? Do we have Spillane in there or someone else who wants to play? I don't know. I'm just so confused about the Devin Bush play at the moment.
When it comes to the preseason play, putting the defense in an uncomfortable position is going to happen because the Steelers are going to play in vanilla-style defense. The thing is, what's not going to be or what's not supposed to be vanilla is the tenacity, the go-getting, the put your face in the pile, and that's just not what he's doing. Spillane, he's being a little bit exposed right now because of his unathletic abilities, right, or his lack there of athletic ability. And so he's put in an uncomfortable position where they really haven't done a lot of game study or film. They're right now at this stage of the preseason, they're just kind of studying themselves. And so with that being said, they're not planning or protecting any of the weaker players or against their weaknesses. And they're putting these players in uncomfortable positions. That's why during the preseason last year, you have Robert Spillane struggling, and everybody was excited to see him because of what he was able to do the year before. Mm-hmm. once you put game plan and strategic element into it, I think Robert Spillane might be the better outside linebacker. Plus, I liked what he was able to do in coverage. I know he wasn't. He didn't have much, PBUs or an interception or anything, but he was right there many of the times. And, in a situation where the defense is scheming and potentially covering up or disguising a little bit better of what they're doing, I think that might help mask some of his shortcomings when it comes to his athleticism. But, I'm excited to see what happens. I think that Devin Bush is 1 foot out the door, though. Do you think he's a Pittsburgh Steeler after this season?
Oh, no, it's not after this season.
No.
I kind of think they're kind of hanging on just because they might not have any other one to be there. But I would rather play Spillane next to Myles Jack, a guy who wants to play, because he did have better coverage, I think, than he did the week before. I saw a few times he did, wrap up on the running back, or I think there was a screen. He may have missed a screen or something like that. But I thought he played better in coverage, definitely. And the mannerisms of Devin Bush do not sell me a true Pittsburgh Steeler at the moment. You don't want to be here. You say, you'll be in the league next week anyway. You're making a few plays. And do you want, it doesn't sell Super Bowl, does it? It doesn't tell me that he wants to be, it doesn't say he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Myles Jack out there is making plays, making a lot of plays. And like I said, DeMonte Carl's making plays. And there are other guys who can probably fill in. And hopefully they don't cut Mark Robinson, because I think he's playing well enough to maybe make the team as well. Not saying you need to start him, but there could be a potential where get rid of Devin Bush or send him away. Maybe another team wants him. I don't know. And then play Myles Jack and Spillane together, and then have Mark Robinson behind those dudes and see what happens. But I think mentality-wise, I think we've seen what Devin Bush offers from 2021 and now leading into this stuff, right? Nothing has really changed since last year. He's playing the exact same way.
Well, little fun fact for you. Devin Bush was out with an injury earlier this week, and Mark Robinson was with the ones. And so I think the Steelers and the defense are seeing
knee injury, or is it a hey, Tomlin said you've got a knee injury?
It could be a pride injury. I'm not sure. Because they had Mark Robinson playing with the one, so I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's proven himself, at least to this point. I mean, if you go back to Vince Williams, he was a 6th-round pick, linebacker that started in a rotational sense his rookie year and ended up being a very, very solid player for the defense. But so going to what you were mentioning earlier with the defensive backs there, I was really impressed with what Terrell Edmunds was able to do this past game. Last year, earlier in this offseason, I broke down a video breaking down what went wrong against the Minnesota Vikings game. And we broke down some film there, and Terrell Edmunds was kind of making some key mistakes when it came to they put him in a position to think, or they put him in a position to make a tackle, and sometimes he over pursued. He was doing a lot of what Devin Bush was doing. And this past game, it seemed like he cleared that up. I'm super impressed by that. I think KZ, Emmons, and Minka are going to be on the field at the same time in many packages. I like that. Who do you think's wearing the green dot, though? If Devin Bush is struggling, he was the one that's been wearing the green dot. You think they give it a Jack?
Yeah, it's got to be Jack, I think, and I agree with you. I think this defense we'll see different schemes as well. I think we'll see Minka in there. I think we'll see bits of Norwood in there too, and Kazi. Kazi is probably my MVP. I think for the preseason game so far, at least on defense anyway. Maybe Pickett's on offense. Kazi is showing me he wants to go out there and tackle. He's making short tackles. He's making good plays. And if we can see him getting more involved, like you said, if the schemes come out and the game plans come out, well, maybe we might be able to see him, react to the football and steal it. Because I can see Terrell Edmunds, Kazi, and Minka, that trio could really help out this defense, along with the cornerbacks too. We haven't really talked about Witherspoon or Wallace either. We haven't seen too many splash plays from those guys. We've seen some tackles from Witherspoon, I think, as well. But they're not on the field long enough to see what's going on. But I can see... Kazi making an impact on this team. But I think the thing is, if Myles Jack's got the green dot, he's going to organize everyone. And then if Spillane's next to him, go and be that thumper, go and be that type of Vince Williams role, and then let Myles Jack run around crazy and see what he can do. This defense it's gonna look different too. Like, we got to remember, it is preseason. There's not at one time. There's never been starting 11 players on there. You know, has Cameron Hayward even played yet?
No.
There you go. Yeah, Cameron Hayward hasn't played yet. Alula was in there. Ogunjobi was in there. Highsmith hasn't played yet. TJ Watt was in there for 2 snaps or 3 snaps or whatever. We haven't seen the starting core together at all just yet. So we're missing a few players there. I'm not too worried about it. I just want to see them play physical, but at the same time, maybe they don't want to because it's preseason. You know, I will shut my mouth if they go out there and Barry Burrow.
That's the goal and that's the plan. I think that they will, but given the performances that they recently have, and you're saying that Jack has played fairly well, what do you think about the PFF ratings that recently came out, putting Jack at the bottom tier?
I did see that.
And Bush as one of the top guys that played this past week.
I've never got into, is it Pro Football Focus? I've never got into Pro Football Focus. I never really understand the ratings. My rating is, did you smash someone in the face like Mark Robinson? Yes, then you're a winner. You know, like I saw a video of Mark Robinson, right? And it was like he hit him on the 30, let's say, and he went back to the 26. Like, he went 4 yards in the air. Like, that's like 2 meters. Like, I am not a fan of these ratings too much, unless they kind of make sense. Like, I saw the other day, Kenny Pickett had the best preseason rating, 150. You know, because the QBR, it makes sense. It's like it's yards, it's what you're throwing in the incompletion, stuff like that. But judging someone like Myles Jack, he made some big plays, I think tackles for loss, and he got him a shorter rating than Mark Robinson. I don't take any volume or value to those ratings at all, really.
Yeah, neither do I. I thought that was funny when I read that. I was like, man, everybody's been grappling on Devin Bush, but he can put that on his wall because according to at least, PFF, he had a better game than Myles Jack, at least one game this season. I thought that was crazy. And so we're going to be coming to a close here pretty soon. Can you give us a score prediction to this upcoming game and let everybody know where they can find you, Mark?
Yeah, so I reckon we have to lose one, to be honest. I know we're going to have, like, Trubisky out there, Kenny Pickett, they're fighting for the QB1 spot. But I get this feeling that Steelers, like, you kind of, in my opinion, I think you have to lose one game because you want to go perfect in the season. So this is just outlandish, like, fantasy style. But let's say the Lions win. We play some bad defense. They win 24, 21, something like that, I guess. We get 3 touchdowns. We don't get any field goals. 24-21. And if you want to find me on YouTube, I'm on YouTube. We're on YouTube now. Steeler Nation Australia, Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate, and Behind the Steel Curtain, Steelers Touchdown Under.
Awesome. You know what? One more question. Who plays better, Kenny or Mitch, this game? Not who wins. Who plays better?
Well, I guess the Lions are playing some of their starters the whole half, right? So yeah, Kenny plays better.
Nice. Thanks.
He's lighting it up, mate. He's lighting it up.
I had to ask one question about that before letting you go. Thank you so much, Mark, for coming on, guys. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Also ring that notification bell. With that being said, guys, I'm Daniel J. This is State of the Steelers. Peace.